In this demonstration, we'll give an overview on how to use Schedule Builder when acting on behalf of a student. From your main menu, you'll select Self-Service, Advisor Center, Student Search. From the Student Search page, you can either enter the student's EMPL ID or name. Select your student. This will take you to that student's Student Center. Select Schedule Builder. The page that's displayed is the welcome message for all students. It will include pertinent information related to that term or registration related to that term. A student may view tips or continue. A student may also skip this message in the future. That means that each time they visit Schedule Builder, they will not see the message until the overall content changes, at which point it will be brought back up for all students. In this main page, you'll see that you are now acting on behalf of this particular student. The terms that are available will be those that that student is term activated for. In this main page, courses that appear will be either courses that were brought over from Degree Planner, they'll be noted by Planner, or courses that the student is enrolled in. So for our first year students who receive a block schedule, when they visit Schedule Builder, there will be another icon they see, and that will let them know that they are enrolled in certain classes. If a student is happy with the courses they've selected here, they can simply select Build Schedule. If they need to make additional selections, they would select Expand Filters. Here, a student can choose additional options. If they are unavailable at certain times, they can set those times. The global filters allow students to search by session. So for fall, winter, and spring, they'll see the regular academic session. For summer, they'll see our 2 5-week, our 8-week, and our 10-week. A student can select only open classes to look at, or they can select looking at open and closed sections. In our section filters, students can start to look for fully online, GE, GWR, or USCP classes. It's important to note that while this area will allow you to select multiple options, that does not further limit results. It actually expands results. It will provide feedback for all courses that meet any of the criteria you've selected. If working with students, it's ideal to tell them to look for one requirement at a time. This will help them to avoid confusion. In this case, we'll look at our GE Area D, D2, and then the corresponding course selections that appear will only show subject and catalog numbers for those courses that fulfill GE Area D2. In this area, you will be able to see that. Again, if a course fulfills multiple requirements, that information will be included here. The student can see the brief course description and add course, which will bring that down to the bottom portion of the screen if they'd like to try and build a schedule with that course. I can also search specifically by subject and course or catalog number, add that course, and again, you'll see it brought down into the courses in which we're going to try and build a schedule with. It does not have one of the status icons because it's been manually added here. If I select Select Sections. This area will allow me to see more information about that course. A student may deselect all sections and only choose specific sections in which they want to try and build a schedule. For sections that have class notes, those will be viewable at this main level. Once I select that section, I can see additional information. Most important to note is this is where students will see information related to textbooks or course materials. This link will take them directly to the Follett website where they can either purchase course materials or determine what materials are necessary for the class. We'll see a quick view of availability of seats and how many students are waitlisted potentially. If this class is a combined section, you will see what the section is combined with, and again, you'll see enrollment information from either side of the class. If I select Cancel, I can remove that course as it wasn't one that this student had intended on building a schedule with, and I will build my schedule. The system will allow students to use up to 10 courses to build their schedule, and it will return up to 100 results. Again, we can view tips, or we can select Not Now, and then move into the various schedule options that are available. There are different sort types: earliest average start time, latest average start time, most days scheduled, and least days scheduled. If I've set times which I'm not available and I feel that schedules are too limited, I can set that to turn it off here. If I'd like to see this schedule in a list view by day of the week, I can do so here. If I'd like to see these classes on a map to know walking time between sections, I can view information on a Google map. This will let me look day by day to see how my schedule will differ. Going back to the calendar view, I can compare schedules. So in this case, for schedule 100, I'll add that to compare. And for 97, I'll add that to compare. Then by selecting compare, I'll get an overlay of the two schedules. 1 and 2 lets you know which schedule is being compared, and the student can take a quick view of what their weekly schedule would look like depending on which option they select. If I wanted to set a schedule as a favorite, in this example, I'm on schedule 97, I can select this star icon. As you can see, students can set up to 5 favorites. This particular student has 5 favorites scheduled. You'll notice that there are different names associated with each schedule. That means that these individuals were acting on Patrick's behalf. An advisor may save a favorite to a student's schedule builder. It will note your name with that particular schedule when it is saved. Overall, that's the extent of the staff view using Schedule Builder. Where things differ is in the student view. When a student is logged in, they will also have an enroll button in this area here. That enroll button will allow a student to validate a schedule, meaning that prior to registration, if they don't yet have an appointment, they can select a schedule and validate it to determine if they meet all course prerequisites. If they do not, they will receive error messages or warnings. They can choose to move that schedule directly to their shopping cart and bypass Schedule Builder enrollment, or they can enroll directly from Schedule Builder. If they choose to enroll directly from Schedule Builder, They will have additional questions asked with each class in terms of whether or not they have a permission number, whether or not they would like to waitlist if the class is full, and if they need to change the grading option for a section when appropriate. From there, they can process the enrollment transaction and they will receive the same messages that they would in the regular registration process on either success or errors associated with each transaction. That's the brief demo on how to act on a student's behalf when using Schedule Builder.